Hello everyone, Legion of Gala here. We have a sort of like monthly haul. I say sort of monthly purely because it's like contains all the bi-weekly issues of DC that I bought, which in this case is Batman 45 and 46, part 1 and 2 of the gift, I guess. Yeah, this arc is really dumb, and still really not enjoying Tom King's Batman in general. I really like the art though. I think that is one of the selling points they have right now. And this alternate future version of Dick Grayson Batman is also kind of cool. In terms of design, anyway. Yeah, like not much to say. There's regular issues. Just waiting until the actual wedding issue, and we also got No Justice #1. Really enjoyed this. This has like a wraparound cover. Yeah, just really happy Martian Manhunter's back. He's got his classic costume, which was slightly different than the one he had in New 52 and Stormwatch, which didn't have like the red X over his top, and it had a red circle with like the Stormwatch logo in it. Thought this design is really cool. However, I do think they're probably going to change it once he joins the league. The story is really cool so far. Excited to see where the Justice League end up after it. And aside from that, went to some secondhand stores, some like bookshops and stuff. Picked up this from 2008. This is Runaways 1. Yeah, I don't know why. I felt really obligated to buy something in that store because I looked through all their comics and they didn't have anything. They had a lot of Marvel stuff which I didn't really care for, like All New X-Men, which is one of my least favorite X-Men runs of all. I think it is my least favorite X-Men run of all time. And they also had a lot of the original Sin, no, not original Sin, Trinity of Sin, Pandora stories, and like the Trinity of Sin, Phantom Stranger stuff. And like while Trinity War was pretty cool, I think the Trinity of Sin was like the actual Trinity of Sin themselves, Phantom Stranger, Question, Weird Magic, New 52 Question, and Pandora were probably the least impactful or liked parts of the entire story, I guess. And like the whole Pandora's box thing was also pretty strange. Yeah, but and they also had a lot of Marvel stuff from Avengers Initiative and Avengers Siege, and also a lot of just like oddities, like books which are good but not really. Like they had a lot of Ultimates 3, which is the worst out of all the 3 Ultimates series they did, and they had a lot of just like Thunderbolt stuff which I had zero interest in. So I just got Runaways 1. And I thought the cover was pretty cool. It's also an issue 1. Yeah. Went to a second store. This one is, I didn't expect them to have comic books, but they did. It was like a record store, and they had like some comic books, except the guy there was like not very nice, and like his prices were out of whack and not what they said. It was gonna be 50 cents a book, but he ended up charging me like $2 a book for some reason. So the first day I picked up this Marvel Tales 77. Now, important to know, whoever owned the store before this current guy destroyed all these comics because he used pen and scratched out the price label and wrote in a new price, and also has like random numbers on them. And this book is really, really poor condition. It's also not worth anything either. Like you can see a lot of like just like creases in the back, in the front, and on the back, like half the covers, not half, but like a quarter of the cover has been torn off. Yeah, so the only reason I got this, and this is also like a reprint, I guess, or they recollected Amazing Spider-Man 96. The only reason I got this was because this actual story itself is very important in the history of comic books, in that this was the first Marvel Comics book. I don't know why it has this logo, but it was one of the first during the age of the Comics Code Authority, which was published without the approval stamp, which this one has. because it had a story depicting drugs, except like, and which ultimately caused the CCA to like like take a look back at their guidelines and like change it up a little bit so that you could portray drugs as a purely negative influence, which this story did. Is about how the Green Goblin and like drugs making people like commit suicide and stuff, I think, or like just killing people. And it was very important in starting the Bronze Age, and without this book we probably wouldn't have gotten Green Lantern 76. We probably wouldn't have gotten like the like DC Bronze Age stuff with Green Lantern, Green Arrow, the Rough Riding Heroes, or no, the Hard Traveled Heroes. I think without this one, because this came first like a couple of months before, and then they rewrote part of the guidelines for the Comic Book Authority, and then Green Lantern 76 came out. So this is just very important in like, and it's also like a cool story. Except like this book is like really bad condition. It's like falling apart in my hands. Although like I guess the color inside is okay, but it's fine. It's also a 2-part, which kind of sucks. But apart from that, bad. And you can also see like the bottom half is already coming off the staples. So like this book's not really like aligned, I guess if you could say that properly, because you can see like half of the spine. It's like this is not folded very well. And just terrible condition in general, but a cool story to own, which is the only reason I bought it. We also picked up from a regular comic book store, Domino issue 1. This is a variant cover. I just really like this cover. I really like Domino as a character in terms of design. I'm not too interested in her actual stories. Like I know enough about the character, but I'm not too interested in it. I think it's a really cool character design, and she's got some cool character traits to her, and that like she's a devout Catholic from what I've gathered, and she was also divorced, or she's a widow, which is fine, which is pretty cool, like in terms of like character development and character arcs, I guess. I've also read the first 2 issues of the new Domino run, and so far it's fine. I don't know where they're going to go with it, but it seems okay. But yeah, I just really like the variant covers they've been doing for this book. Most of them are really nice. Some of them are a bit weird, and some of the ones which are just like the Marvel themed variants, so like the action figure variants, I don't really care for, but these variants and the J. Scott Campbell variants are really nice. And yeah, I also really like the logo they did for Domino, like the ricochet on the bullet. And from the same store I got this book, I also picked up another book for $2, which is All-Star Comics 71, starring the Justice Society of America. This book is in noticeably better condition than the Marvel Tales one, because the front cover doesn't have any insane creases on it. There's a couple of like creases on the spine, which is to be expected from these old comic books, and there's like minor red discoloration over here, like there seems to be something stain or something placed around here. Also there's a weird 6 here, but he didn't, and also like it's cut off very strangely. I think that's just like here the sense symbol is just cut off, which I think that's just like how they used to do it. In the back there's a little bit of like nicks on the back side, but the inside is completely fine. I only picked this up because, you know, very cool. I really like the cover. Really like the Justice Society as a team. I don't know, I just really like DC's superhero teams in general compared to Marvel's. I never really got into any of Marvel's superhero teams aside from the X-Men, and even then it was only like the core X-Men team. I never really got into or enjoyed like X-Force, X-Factor, or the New Mutants, like Generation X, like all these other teams that I never really got into. But like in terms of DC, the Justice Society, Justice League, I really like those teams. Really like the Golden Age versions of a lot of these heroes that we know now, and I really like the pre New 52 stuff they did with the Justice Society, like when they were more like when they had like a lot more young members on the team, like legacy heroes and stuff, and they had Black Canary as the chairwoman. Really cool. And yeah, for $2 I was like, fine, I'll pick it up. Yeah, but so this was, I guess this was pretty cool to find. Just really hard trying to find places to buy comic books. Like I went to a shop 2 days ago, in on like the other side of town, and like it was very cool in that it had a lot of back issues, but I had nothing I wanted. There's just a lot of back issues I didn't want, and the pricing was also really bad. But aside from that, like just trying to find more places to look for books potentially, because we don't really get conventions out here. But yeah, this has been Joe Gale. I'll be back soon, I guess, whenever I pick up enough books to do a video.